Okay, boys, we'll start. Actually, in the last class, we discussed about different types of mushrooms. Even, in fact, we discussed about different phases of mushroom cultivation. And in our syllabus, we have the cultivation of commercial cultivation of two mushrooms, that is button mushroom and oyster mushroom, that we'll discuss today. How the commercial production of these two mushrooms is carried out, that we'll discuss. And in fact, we discussed about the spawn preparation. Only these two, production and commercial calculation, these two parts are remaining from the syllabus. So I hope to complete these two components today, and I'll show you some. There's a mushroom cultivation training videos, one for button mushroom, one for oyster mushroom, so that if you want by yourself, you want to start something and mushroom cultivation, you can do that part. Before going to that one, commercial production, just we will review, because the class we took almost 2 weeks back. So we'll review again about the production of these mushrooms, the span preparation and outlining of different steps of mushroom cultivation, so that when you go for this training part, video part, it will be easy for you to understand. Anyhow, I will explain the video section also while going. So first, the most important thing is span. Most of the time, when a farmer is doing there's a mushroom cultivation, he will collect his spawn from vendors. Mostly agriculture universities will provide this spawn, that is a seed kind of thing. Even for us, there's a public gardens also, they will supply this span for different mushrooms. And these two mushrooms are very common, and they are very much consumed among the people. This button mushroom and oyster mushroom. So apart from this, bottles, and sometimes in public garden, people they are providing in at 50 rupees. So but as a microbiologist, we should learn how to prepare this pan. How to prepare this pan, we should know. Already I have explained you this component. First, what we'll do, after get whenever you are having a stock culture with you, whenever the stock culture is there, this agaricus biporus, or whatever the fungi, whenever you are having, you are supposed to inoculate on PDA, potato dextrose agar, that you know how to prepare that one, or malt extract agar media, or potato dextrose yeast agar media. This is apart from there's a dextrose, we'll be adding yeast extract also in PDA to this one. And then compost extract agar media, that is to the compost will be using it. So whatever these different medias will be inoculating on a plate. So you should make sure that the pure colony is there in that one. There is no contamination in that one. Once it is confirmed that it is a pure colony, you can directly, for span preparation, directly you can use the solid PDA grown, there's a colony. Otherwise, it is advised to inoculate into PDB, potato dextrose broth. Whatever this individual colony that you got on PDA plates, you inoculate into PDB broth. So it will be growing luxuriously over there. You will be like within 2 days, 2 to 3 days, you will be having a luxurious mycelium mat over there on PDB broth. Now you can go for the span preparation. So how to prepare the span? For span preparation, either you can use jawar or corn or wheat grains, either of these three. Rice is not recommended because it gets easily broken down. And we are supposed to grow on these grains, and these grains only will be using for the mushroom cultivation purpose. So they should be intact. So you are supposed to use either jawar or gray, and there's a corn, sweet corn or normal corn you can use, and there's a wheat and barley also you can use, but you require more pressure to make it smooth because bit harder one material. So you take these grains and soak it in water for 30 minutes to make it uh, like washing as well as make it soft. And after soaking, take it out and dry it on a clean cloth. Just put it on the cloth, and to that one you are supposed to add 3% lime powder. There is a calcium carbonate powder you are supposed to add to that one. This, the objective of this is the chalk powder, the objective is to adjust the pH into alkaline nature. The objective is here to adjust the pH into alkaline range. Now this chalk mixed grains, you are supposed to take 250 grams of grains, or this particular grains, and keep it in one bag or in one bottle. There is a 500 ml capacity containing polypropylene bags, or even this 1 liter flask also you can take. Otherwise, 1 liter bottles also you can take, and you plug it with a non-absorbing cotton. And now sterilize it with 15 lbs 121 for 20 minutes. And once the sterilization is over, see here you are cooking the material, or you are cooking the grains, as well as you are making sure that there is no contamination in it. So once it is sterilized completely, allow it for cooling. Now you are having a mycelial mat with you, which is grown in the PDB broth, which is grown in the PDB, and you transfer that for 250 grams of substrate, you can transfer hardly about 5 grams, 5 ml of this liquid broth. You can transfer it into it, mix it thoroughly, and allow it at room temperature for 2 to 3 days. If you are allowing for 2 to 3 days, then the entire seeds, whatever the seeds are there, they will turn into white color. The mycelium, that mushroom mycelium, will grow on the entire all the seeds, and it will turn into complete white color. So see, individual seed will be considered as a inoculum. If it is broken, then see the whatever the culture also gets broken down along with it. So we are supposed to use intact seeds like wheat, jawar, this kind of things we are supposed to use in order to maintain good quality of spawn. So once the spawn is prepared, it can be it can be used immediately, or if you are having a storage facility, 4 degrees Celsius storage facility, it can be preserved for a period of month. And within a month period, you are supposed to make use of the spawn. Otherwise, the mortality, that viability of the, there is what you call hyphae, gets reduced. Okay. And this is the oyster mushroom. You can see this is the oyster mushroom. So what are the things required for mushroom cultivation? There's a span is required, paddy straw or sawdust, or like whatever the raw material that you are using. Polythene bags are required. Polythene sheets are required, and potassium permanganate, spirit, or Dettol. Here, disinfectant substances. Sometimes formalin is being used. Sometimes chemical disinfectant agents are being used. I'll show you in the videos how they are using. So in normal laboratory purpose, if you are doing potassium permanganate, which is available in the lab, you can use Dettol, spirit, kind of things that you can do. So this is a PDA for culture growing. This part we did, and see, this is a seed or span which has been developed. This is in the bottles, and this is in the now cultivation. First, see here, disinfection, making hygiene is most important thing. The making hygiene is most important thing here in this case. First, you cut your straw into fixed size. First, you are supposed to cut the straw into fixed size. like it should not be very large, and it should not be very small, like your atta kind of thing. It should not be very small, and it should not be very big. And these if you are doing it lab level, you can do normal sterilization. You can do, because you are doing it small scale, you can do sterilization in your lab. You need not to, because sanitation is the one. If you are not maintaining the good sanitation, there is every possibility of failure of your experiment. And here the second most important thing is moisture levels should be 60%. 60% moisture. If it is above 65%, or even 70% moisture is there, your the mushroom will not grow. So maintenance of there's a moisture, the substrate moisture is also very important here. And once the substrate is these are the different preparations. Anyhow, I will show you in the video. So see, first this is a cutting of there's a substrate into fixed size. Machines are available nowadays. If you put the rice straw into it, it will be happily it will be doing that one. Next, this is a disinfectant preparation. And once the disinfectant is prepared in that one, that the material substrate which was cut, which was taken into the bag, is dipped for probably 2 days. Then it is taken out, and here it is dried till that complete moisture is lost in that one. Around 60% moisture is maintained in that one. Now, once you are ready with your substrate, once you are ready with the substrate, see here, just what you are doing, just 2 days you are putting over there. Second day you are mixing with calcium carbonate, calcium, there is a chalk powder. Then you will be taking into polythene bags. You will be filling it into the polythene bags. So how you are supposed to do? You are supposed to take around 3 to 4 centimeters height, that mat you are supposed to fill in it. Then you are supposed to add the span. You are supposed to add the span in between. Then again you add this whatever your the substrate. Like this, you are supposed to maintain few layers. You are supposed to maintain few layers, and you close it perfectly and keep it in a moist room. Keep it in a, and you see here, wherever the span is kept in between, intracalorie span, whenever you are keeping, then you are supposed to make the holes in it. You are supposed to make the holes, and you should seal the holes with there's a non-absorbent cotton. Like how do you do for your plugging? Here, I think. See here, this is a packing. This is the packing part, and see what they are doing. Whatever the substrate they have prepared, how the substrate is prepared. Substrate is cut into fixed size, and that is taken into the gunny bag or something, and that is soaked in water with formalin and some disinfectant substances in that one. Then it is taken out after 2 days. It is taken out, and to that one you will be adding the calcium carbonate, calcium hydroxide or calcium carbonate will be added to it. Calcium hydroxide, then it is adjusted with the water to make the humidity to 60%, 60 to 65%. They will be adjusting. Then it is filled into the polythene bags like this. See, this is being filled over here. Once this is filled, see, now they'll be making the holes here. See, the person is making the holes here, and after the making the holes, actually these holes should be closed with the pinning the bed. This is pinning, and this should be closed with the cotton, non-absorbent cotton. Then it is incubated in moist conditions. It is incubated in the moist conditions. So the spawn, it is called a spawn running. Whatever the spawn that we have added, that will grow entirely, and the entire thing will turn into, there's a white color. And see, this is a packing part, and this is closing they are doing. Anyhow, I'll show you the video. And the holes are made. There is a 12 to 20 holes are made. Actually, this hole should be made at the site of the span wherever you are adding, and it should be sealed with the non-absorbent cotton, because otherwise what happens, there is every possibility of span raising out, and there is a possibility of even contamination in it. And the germination starts, sponge germination starts, and it will grow continuously. And see here, this span running continuously after 80 days. They will give the what mushroom birds will be forming. And here you need to like spray the water on these bags for 5 days, so that moist conditions are maintained. You should water water in the sense spraying the water, sprinkling the water or spraying the water, and the cool temperature should be maintained. See, actually normal growth of the mycelium takes place at room temperature, that is around 28 degree 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. There is no problem, there is a room temperature. But for this uh, mushroom production, it requires very less temperature. There is 13 degrees Celsius temperature is required for it. After packing, 5 days watering should be done, and after 18 days onwards, the mushroom. So till 18 days, you can maintain the temperature around 25 degrees Celsius. And after 18 days, where the what you call your mushroom production starts, there you should go with less temperature, that is 15 degrees Celsius. See, this is spraying. This is the spraying part to maintain the moisture levels, and these are being hanged. There are multiple methods of doing this one. I'll show you one by one. So what happened? Why you should do the hanging? Why you should not keep on the soil? If you are hanging, there is every possibility that aeration will be available all the sides. And here, even your mushrooms do come from the base also. Mushrooms also will come from the bases. So the hanging bed is most preferable method. And finally, like from 18 days onwards, it will start. And after a month period, first harvest you can collect. There will be something like this one. And in this one, like actually some at the base, some substrate also will come. So you are supposed to cut down the substrate, and you should pack it, and you should send it for the, see, like this. You should pack it in the packets, and you should make it available for the selling. Here we have I'm having with me. I will explain this. First, we'll see the white button mushroom. Just this white button mushroom, and this has been produced by the Directorate of Mushroom Research, that is Solan HP, which is Himachal Pradesh, which is an authentic body of this mushroom research, and the providing the spans and marketing of the spans and all those things. They will be dealing with this.
While button mushroom is the most popular mushroom in the world and accounts for nearly 30% of the total world production, at present, India is roughly producing around 70 to 80,000 tons of button mushrooms, which have grown steadily over the years. This mushroom needs cooler climate for its growth and can be cultivated in the winters in the most parts of country. This is called seasonal cultivation. Button mushroom can also be cultivated throughout the year by employing cooling facilities and providing suitable infrastructures and machinery. Seasonal cultivation is generally done in thatched houses. Such structures are made up of bamboos, bed straw, sarkanda grass, and poly. Low-cost structures can also be constructed for mushroom cultivation. Round-the-year cultivation requires construction of many permanent structures and installation of some machinery. Total infrastructure required is as follows. This project can be accommodated in 500 to 600 square meters of land, machinery required, 4 numbers of self-contented AUs, boiler 150 kg steam generation capacity, centrifugal blower along with ducting, steel racks in the growing rooms and iron gratings in the tunnel, electric and other installations, water pipeline and fittings, equipments like thermometers, sprayers, forks, harvesting trays, etc. There are 5 steps in the cultivation technology of button mushroom: production or procurement of spawn, preparation or procurement of compost, spawning, casing, production of crop, production and procurement of spawn. You can produce your own spawn or it can be procured from a reliable laboratory situated in the region. Almost all state agriculture universities, including our AICRP centers, supply the spawn. Spawn is the seed required for growing mushrooms, or in simple words, spawn is the grains covered with mushroom mycelium. Technically, spawn is the vegetative mycelium from a selected mushroom grown on any convenient medium like wheat, pearl millet, sorghum, etc. After production or procurement of spawn, next step involved in cultivation is compost production, which can be prepared by 3 methods: long, short, and indoor methods. Long method of composting. This is a very old and traditional method of compost production, and usually see cultivators prepare compost by this method. Compost can be prepared by this method in 1 month's time, during which it is turned 7 to 8 times. By this technique, around 15 to 18 kg mushrooms can be produced from 100 kg compost in 3 months period. The formulations required for this method are: to start the composting procedure, first thoroughly clean the area and spray 2% of formaldehyde. Next day, wheat straw or any other recommended base material is spread on the platform. Water is sprinkled over the straw with a pipe, and straw is frequently turned till it absorbs around 75% moisture. Around 4,000 liters of water or ton of straw would be required. When the straw is fully wetted, it is collected as a low heap on one side of the yard. Similarly, other ingredients except gypsum are mixed and kept as such in the yard in a heap. Long method compost is prepared in around 28 days. During this period, compost is turned at least 7 to 8 times. Now we will be telling you day-wise operations. Day 0. On this day, 2 ingredients, that is straw and other additives, are properly mixed. The mixed ingredients are then into a high aerobic pile. Dimensions of the pile should be 5 feet wide, 5 feet in height, and length will depend upon the quantity of the substrate. Day 1 to 5. This pile is kept as such for 5 days. Temperature of heap starts rising and may go up to 70 to 75 Celsius in 24 to 48 hours. Day 6. On 6th day, first turning is given to the pile. Pile is broken and the substrate is mixed well, and then a new pile is constructed. Strong smell of ammonia can be noticed during this phase. After the first turning, temperature starts rising again after 24 hours. Day 10. The pile is broken again and turned second time as earlier. Pile shows some shrinkage and exhibits higher temperature. The color of the ingredient starts darkening to deep brown. Ammonia production is higher at this stage. Now white flags or powdery mass, which are known as fire fangs, actinomycetes, are also visible, which is the indication of good compost. Day 13. Again the pile is turned third time, and the required quantity of gypsum is added and mixed well. Day 16, 19, 22, 25. Turnings are given, and on 25th day the required quantity of insecticide is added. During last turning and spraying of malathion or and 0.01% can be done for killing insects and pests. Day 28. This is the last day and also called spawning day. The pile is broken and smell of ammonia is checked. If no ammonia smell and instead a sweet smell is felt, the compost is ready for spawning. If ammonia smell persists, then give additional turning. Before spawning, compost is cooled down to ambient temperature by spreading it on the floor. A good compost is dark brown in color, non-greasy or sticky, and have a distinct sweet inoffensive smell free from ammonia. Have 66 to 68% moisture and 7.2 to 7.8 pH. There is no visible growth of other undesirable organisms except for the fire fangs, and is free from insect nematodes. This directorate has developed the chemical pasteurization technique for long method compost for the control of yellow mold and also to improve the yields. In this technique, we take 1.5 gram of formalin and 50 gram of bevestin. Dissolve these chemicals in 40 liters of water for 1 ton compost. Spray this solution thoroughly in the entire compost mass. Now make a heap out of this compost and cover it by a polythene sheet for 2 days. Remove the cover after 2 days and vigorously shake the compost to later spawn this compost.
This is the second method of composting.
Short method of composting is generally employed by the growers who have round-the-year cultivation facilities. This method consists of two phases. Phase 1 is outdoor composting for 10 to 12 days. Phase 2 is pasteurization and conditioning of the compost inside the tunnel, which lasts for around 7 days. The formulation required for this method are wheat straw 1000 kg, chicken manure 400 kg, wheat bran 70 kg, urea 14.5 kg, gypsum 30 kg. Phase 1 outdoor composting stage. At this stage, first wheat straw is wetted thoroughly and then chicken manure is mixed along with addition of wheat bran and kept as such for 2 days. After that, stack is broken and water is added to the dry portions and again a stack is made. 0 day. On this day, the stack is again broken and the entire quantity of urea is added and a high aerobic pile is made. The compost is again after every 2 days and gypsum is added a third turning. In all 3 to 4 turnings are given. Temperature of the pile may range between Celsius on 8th till 10th day the cultivation stage. On 8th till 10th day, the pasteurization chamber is performed in pasteurization tunnel. Fill tunnel with compost up to the height of 2 to 2.3 meter, manually or by filling line or bobcat. Install thermometers. Probe one each in plenum, compost, and in the air above the compost. Close all the doors and ventilators and switch on the blower fan. Bring uniform temperature in the tunnel between 45 to 48 degrees Celsius. Now slightly open the fresh air damper and maintain the temperature in the range of 48 to 52 Celsius in compost for 48 hours for pre-pasteurization conditioning. Now raise the compost temperature to 59 to 60 Celsius by manipulating the opening of the damper or by injecting steam through a boiler. Keep compost at this temperature for 4 to 6 hours. Again, bring down the compost temperature between 48 to 52 Celsius range. Keep it for 3 to 4 days or till the period when there is no ammonia smell in the compost. You can also check the ammonia by using dragger and ammonia tubes. If no ammonia persists, bring down the compost temperature to 25 to 30 Celsius. Now the compost is ready for spawning. Indoor composting. This is a recent method of compost production. In this method, compost is prepared in 12 days' time without any environment pollution. In this method, phase 1 is performed in specially made bunkers, which are also known as phase 1 tunnels. These bunkers are provided with ventilation arrangements. In this method, all the ingredients as mentioned for short method are thoroughly mixed and properly wetted and kept as such in a heap in the composting yard for 2 to 3 days. These ingredients are transferred to the bunkers and blower fan is switched on for 3 minutes on and 2 minutes off with the help of a timer. Temperature of the pile may go up to 80 degrees Celsius. Compost is kept in the bunker for 3 days. After that, this mass is taken out, properly mixed, and transferred to another bunker, where again this is kept for 3 days and similar procedure followed. Thereafter, this compost is transferred to phase 2 tunnel, where again it is kept for 3 days. tunnel, and procedure as mentioned for short method is followed.
So this compost itself, see, this is actually starting material for your mushroom cultivation. Only even if you are just preparing the compost, and if you are selling, the cost of this compost now at the moment is 10 rupees per kg. And you will be having a lot of this rice straw and the waste materials. And if you are even Amazon is at Amazon, it is available for 12 rupees or 15 rupees per kg. If you prepare the good quality of compost, whether it is a long method, short method, or indoor method, long method hardly requires pasteurization or sophisticated instrumentation. So something, if you can start, it will be a startup kind of thing. You can start your own entrepreneurship at your place. So kindly consider of this one. Even if you are having a mushroom cultivation, see, the market of mushroom is a very important thing. But here there is a huge market for this compost.
Next step in the cultivation cycle of button mushroom is to spawn the ready compost prepared by either of the shown methods. Select a suitable area for spawning, preferably cemented platform or room. Spray the area with 2% formaldehyde 24 hours before spawning operation. Thoroughly mix spawn in the compost in the ratio of 500 under clean conditions, size 22 by 24 inches up to the height of 30 centimeter. The compost can also be spread in shelf beds approximately 5 to 6 inches deep in a thatched mushroom house. Loosely clothing newspaper or plastic sheet, it filled in beds or shelves. Shift the compost filled bags in cropping rooms having air temperature of 23 plus minus 1 degree Celsius. Keep bags under these conditions for 12 to 14 days. Compost, if kept in the thatched growing rooms, will require gentle water spray once in a day to avoid drying of the compost. There is no need of water spray if compost is covered with poly sheet. Under these conditions, spawn run will complete in 12 to 15 days, and compost will turn to white in color. Casing and case run is an important step in the cultivation cycle of button mushroom. Without casing, mushroom will not appear. Casing and case run is an important step in the cultivation cycle of button mushroom. Without casing, mushroom will not appear. Casing is applying a layer of soil around 4.5 centimeter thick on the top surface of the spawn run compost. A mixture of 2 to 3 years old farmyard manure with garden soil in the ratio of 1:1 is prepared. If coir pith is available in your area, then it can also be used in combination of FYM and garden soil in the ratio of 1:1:1. Formalin is the best material to treat the casing soil for the farmers who do not have control facilities. It kills all kinds of diseases and molds. For casing treatment, following steps are involved. Make a heap of casing material on a cemented platform and wet it thoroughly. Drench the wet casing with formalin at 2 liters dissolved in 40 liters of water or M3 by mixing with shovel. Cover it with polythene sheet and seal the outer periphery thereafter by pouring sand or soil on outside margin. Keep the material for 5 to 6 days in sun for fumigation effect. Remove the cover and expose the material to open air by turning the material for use. Growers who have controlled conditions may treat their casing soil with steam in a casing soil chamber built for the purpose. Casing is pasteurized at 65 Celsius for 6 to 8 hours by live steam in this chamber. After it's cooling to 25 Celsius, it's ready for application. For casing application, unfold the fully spawn run bag and make the top surface even by its gentle pressing with hands. Apply 4.5 centimeter thick layer of casing uniformly on the surface. Spray water immediately after casing application and thereafter daily. Water is so sprayed that it does not travel to compost. Daily water spray the casing till the termination of crop. After casing, mycelium will travel in the casing soil. This process is known as case run, which is done at a temperature of 23 to 25 degrees Celsius with RH of 95% and carbon dioxide of about 10,000 ppm for about 1 week. Once the mycelium reaches the casing soil, the compost is ready for fruiting. Mushrooms will not appear from the bags or beds unless you give the shock to the mycelium or compost, and for this, we change the environmental conditions altogether. First, we bring down the air temperature to 15 to 17 degrees Celsius, RH to 85%, and we provide enough ventilation to the compost or room, which brings down the CO2 concentration to 800 till 1000 ppm. This change in environmental parameters induces pinhead formation in 3 to 4 days' time. The pinheads develop into solid button-sized mushrooms in another 3 to 4 days. At this stage, the air inside the cropping room is changed 4 to 6 times in an hour to maintain appropriate carbon dioxide concentration. Given above conditions, you will get the first harvest ready after 33 to 34 days of spawning. Mushrooms with 4 to 5 centimeter diameter and closed veil are harvested. Mushrooms are harvested by holding them between forefinger and thumb and rotating in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. The soiled stem portion is cut with sharp knife and mushrooms are collected grade-wise in baskets. Daily watering to the bags or beds is required. Water is so sprayed that it remains to the casing soil only and does not leach it down to the compost. If required, water can be sprayed 2 times on the bags. Mushrooms appear in the flushes. After harvesting mushrooms for 2 to 3 days, there is a gap when they reappear. 1.8 to 2 kg mushrooms is harvested per bag of 10 kg compost each in 30 to 40 days of cropping. Mushrooms after harvest are graded and packed in PP bags with 1 to 2 mm small holes all over. These packed mushrooms should immediately be sent to the market for their disposal.
Yeah, this is a Solan. There's a mushroom research center. This is about button mushroom cultivation. See, this is in fact in the market most of the time in Reliance or other way where mostly it is the button mushroom that is available. This is a large scale production, but I'll show you. There is a one more method. This is pearl mushroom. So first the substrate should be cut and it should separated based on its size. The fine particles are being removed and the remaining substrate is separated. And it is filled in the loose gunny bags. This is quite easy when you compare with the button mushroom, and this can be easily practiced. This is oyster mushroom. There's nothing, only the substance. Water is taken in the vessels or tanks, you can say. It is a chalk powder. There is a 1.5 kg of chalk powder and a bleaching powder, around 50 grams of bleaching powder for 3 bags of such kind. And this is a formalin liquid, approximately around 10 to 12 ml he is adding. Same thing for different container. Now mix it thoroughly. You are supposed to fix 4 bags at a time. It should be completely soaked. So you should apply some weight over there. You can call him. And you allow it for 2 days, 1 day, 24 hours. యా ఉపేందర్ వినబడుతుందా?
ఎస్ సార్.
ఉపేందర్
వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
సారీ, కనెక్టివిటీ ఇష్యూ వల్ల డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయింది. ఓకే, ఎనీహౌ వాళ్ళకి బటన్ మష్రూమ్ కంప్లీట్ చూసారు కదా? యా, బటన్ మష్రూమ్ కంప్లీట్ చూసారు కదా?
ఎస్ సార్.
ఉపేందర్, బటన్ మష్రూమ్ వీడియో కంప్లీట్ చూసారు కదా?
అవును సార్, అవును.
హలో,
ఎస్ సార్. హలో
ఉపేందర్,
సార్, వినిపిస్తలేదా నాది? హలో,
బటన్ మష్రూమ్ కంప్లీట్ చూసారా?
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే, ఇది రెండవది ఎంతవరకు చూసారు? ఫస్ట్ వీడియో పూర్తి చూసారు కదరా? హలో, కనబడుతుందా?
నో సార్.
మోసెస్, ఉపేందర్ వీడియో కనబడుతుందా?
లేదు
లేదు
సార్,
సార్,
ఇంకా
ఇంకా షేర్ స్క్రీన్ చేయలేదు సార్.
వీడియో ఒక్క నిమిషం మళ్ళీ చేస్తుంది. షేర్ ఎందుకు కావట్లేదు ఇది? వీడియో కనబడుతుందా ఉపేందర్?
లేదు సార్, ఇంకా
ఒక్క నిమిషం, ఇది షేరింగ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. ఒక్క నిమిషం, జస్ట్ ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ ఇస్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. ఇప్పుడు అవుతున్నట్టు. ఇప్పుడు కనబడుతుందా
ఎస్ సార్.
మోసెస్?
కనిపిస్తుంది సార్.
ఓకే, ఇది
Yes, sir.
ఇంతకు ముందు బటన్ మష్రూమ్ చూసాము. ఇది ఆయిస్టర్ మష్రూమ్ ప్రొడక్షన్. అంటే ఆయిస్టర్ మష్రూమ్ కొంచెం ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది బటన్ మష్రూమ్ కంటే. సో ఇదొక వీడియో చూడండి, దెన్ విల్ డిస్కస్. ఈవెన్ వైల్ ద ప్రెజెంటేషన్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ ఆల్సో విల్ డిస్కస్. పోయిందా వీడియో మళ్ళీ?
Yes, sir.
పోయింది సార్.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఒక నిమిషం చేస్తాను నేను. ఇది అన్ని పెట్టేటప్పటికి అలా వీడియో వలన అలా అవుతుంది. Now I will do something. ఇప్పుడు కనబడుతుందా? ఇప్పుడు ఉందా? ఉపేందర్,
క్లియర్ గా లేదు సార్. డెస్క్టాప్ ఏం కనిపిస్తలే.
బ్లాంక్ ఉంది సార్.
కాదు, ఇమేజ్ లేదా?
లేదు సార్.
చూడు. అదే, ఐ థింక్ ఇది సపోర్ట్ చేయట్లేదు అనుకుంటా. ఒక నిమిషం. ప్రెసెంటింగ్ మోడే ఉంది ఇది.
మీ స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుంది కానీ ఏం కనిపిస్తలేదు సార్. ఓన్లీ పైన అది రాంగ్ మైనస్ అవి కనిపిస్తున్నాయి సార్. మిగతాదంతా బ్లాంక్.
ఇది సపోర్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. ఒక్క నిమిషం, నేను వేరేది పెడతా. ఒక్క నిమిషం, ఇది అవుతుంది. కనబడుతుందా లేదా ఇంకా?
నో సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం, ఇది కట్ చేసేసి నేను దాంట్లో ఇది ఉంటుంది కదా, దాంట్లో పిక్ చేస్తాను. लड्डू तेरे हो नेट चालू कर। एक वीडियो बताते हैं। ఉపేందర్ ఇప్పుడు కనబడుతుందా?
లేదు సార్, ఇంకా
వీడియో కనబడట్లేదా?
ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది కానీ ప్రాపర్ గా లేదు సార్. స్మాల్
వస్తుంది, కొంచెం నెట్వర్క్ మార్చాను, వేరే ఫోన్ పెట్టాను. చూద్దాం ఇప్పుడు దీంతో. ఇది మన బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ తీసేసాను, ఇప్పుడు జియోతో పెట్టాను, చూద్దాం. వినబడుతుందా ఇప్పుడు? కనబడుతుందా?
ఎస్ సార్.
So bleaching powder is added and lime powder is also added. Formalin is also added. Sunnam, then bleaching powder, Formalin. Basically, it is to alkalize and disinfectant. This is very easy, not much sophisticated like your button mushroom. We should put some weight on it. Cover it with a poly bag for 1 day. Then after 24 hours, there is a 1 day we are supposed to remove it and put it outside for removing the water. Now cover it. Then after next day, you are supposed to remove. Here it is very simple. This is a chalk powder. There is a sunnam. This is a 150. It is a there is a pesticide. Three components are added here: one antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-pest, and like not to allow the growth of other plants. Pesticide and bacteria, against the bacteria, against the fungi we are supposed to use. Three we will be using. These are very much available in the market. And this is antibacterial, there is antibiotic tablet for eczema. Antibiotic tablet. So this whatever the mixture is added, that will be added to the substrate which is prepared. Now it is mixed thoroughly. This is a span. See, this is intermittent packing. In earlier case, there is a button mushroom. It is mixed completely with the compost, but it is not the case here. It is called as intermittent mixing. These are the PP bags, polypropylene bags. These are there with us. So the span is taken. Now the substrate is being added there. See, this should be packed perfectly. Then add the span again. Like in different layers we are supposed to do. There actually in button mushroom, the compost preparation takes almost a month, 28 to 32 days. But here the compost is prepared in 2 days itself. Whichever the compost, this spawn layers are there, from there the mushroom will be growing. Once packing is done, you are supposed to make the holes with cotton plugs. You can see, and it is not exactly at the side, it is in between the spawn layers.
సార్ వీడియో స్ట్రక్ అయింది. హలో 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 జాన్
హలో
సార్కి ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేసినావా? హలో జాన్. హలో హలో
హలో ఓపెన్ సార్ది నెట్వర్క్ ప్రాబ్లం అంట.
ఎందుకన్నాడు క్లాస్ లో? వెయిట్ చేయమన్నారా?
చెప్పలే ఏమి అది.